For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website www.games4all.podcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com.
Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 86. I'm your host James Craigie and I'm joined by the rather poorly
Michelle Barry.
Now, you'll have to bear with us because we are recovering from a...
sickness bug that's going around.
Yeah, we won't go into details, just to say that you're very lucky that we've managed to record from the living room and not the bathroom. So, first bit of news, big congratulations to our very own Dan Young and his partner Lisa on the birth of their son Ryan.
Yes.
He was born Monday
At 9:15 in the evening.
Yep.
And I think at this point, Dan had gone, 36 hours without sleep?
Yeah, I think he had a bit of sleep by then, but it was on the floor of the hospital. But
he was determined not to leave, so...
No. And
But
damn
yes.
right to him. But, yeah, the little boy's here now. He was, I think it was 11 days late.
11 days late, yes. He did not want to come out.
But he's a lovely little thing, and we're
hope to see him soon.
very proud of Dan and Lisa, and best of luck to them.
Sorry. Like the way he said, very proud of Dan.
Go on, my son. But we're going to kick off, as always, with what we've been playing. A lot of demos this week.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the demo show. So, Michelle, start us off.
I've been playing Final Fantasy XIII-2
Awesome.
demo on the PlayStation 3. It's good. I like it. I mean, I haven't finished the first one, but I was too eager to play. As soon as he said the demo's coming out, I was like, "Yep, I'm in there. I'm gonna have a go." And it did kind of chuck you in the deep end as soon as I got on.
Yeah.
Just went against a mechanical arm of some sort.
It was a pretty big arm.
Yeah.
And it turned into a whole giant.
Yeah.
Because I played a little bit of it, nowhere near as much as you.
But I mean, the character you aren't any of the characters that you played in Final Fantasy XIII. You are
characters that I think appeared in it, but you.
Yes, I mean, you get to play Sarah in this one, and you didn't get to play her in the first one.
And who was she in the first one?
She was Lightning's sister.
Lightning, who's the main hero. So you play the main hero's sister.
Yeah.
And a new character that's just introduced.
No, not Father Christmas. All right.
Noel.
Just the character's name is Noel.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's good. I enjoyed it. There's a few changes I think they've made to the battle sequence. Being able to use defeated monsters that you've previously battled as allies in your paradigms.
Yeah.
You get to...
They're kind of like extra party members, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I played the demo, I got to use one of the creatures as a medic. So I had them in the background constantly healing me if I got into any trouble.
Always useful.
Always useful, and then at least when you get that, they've got they've got a bar that goes up, and once it gets to a full bar, if you press a certain button on it, then they'll do a special attack.
So it's kind of harking back to the old Final Fantasies with like limit bar. I have to say, what I played of it does seem very much like not so much going backwards, but addressing what a lot of fans criticised was missing of the original 13.
But I mean, my honest opinion though is that they've tweaked a few things on it, like being able to attack your enemies first.
Yeah.
And they've added a little bar that comes up,
It's like a clock, isn't it?
Like a little clock, where you can strike them first.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it works.
Preemptive.
That's it, preemptive strikes. And so they have a bar that comes up, and if it's green, then you've won the preemptive strike. You get to go first. Which helps with staggering them, which gets their stagger bar up, which helps with defeating them. But I mean, on the first one, Final Fantasy XIII, they didn't have that. It was just You just run up to them and without them knowing, and it would go straight to a battle, and then it would come up whether you've earned a preemptive strike. But this one instantly tells you, green, you've won it. Yellow, no, you're still going to go into battle, and red, they've got there first. So to be honest, I wasn't too bothered with that, really.
No.
But yeah, it's still good all the same, and I like having the
Moogle.
That's it. I can't say it. I'm saying Muggle.
Muggle.
Muggle's in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But yes, so I enjoy having them back because being able to find items with them is very handy.
Yeah, it is cool. And like I said, it's addressed a lot of the issues that people had with the first one. I think the main improvement I saw of it was after that first battle in the demo, you then proceed to play in a town, which was absent from the first game. It was all kind of like long corridors, and they seem to really kind of make it less like one straight path. There seems to be more to like explore and
and there's like hidden paths as well.
Yeah, which is cool. Which, honestly, when I first heard that this was announced, I thought, really? Yeah. They're really going there? They're really expecting it to do? But no, they seem to really want to make up for a lot of the disappointment of the first game.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, someone may buy it for you at release.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I won't hold my breath.
Well, you've got to finish the first one before you can play it.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
But no, overall impressions.
Good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Excellent.
But I mean, that's me. I like playing role-playing games.
Yeah, especially like Japanese RPGs and stuff.
I think that's the main ones that I actually go for. I mean, the only other games that I've really played is Mirror's Edge and Pure.
Yeah, I think you may have mentioned that a couple of times.
Yeah. And other than that, it's been my iPhone, so
Yeah. Oh well. Tell you what, this year you need to start playing more games.
Yeah, I want to try and finish Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, it's another sort of Japanese anime style game.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Anyway, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Kingdoms of Amalur.
Amalur?
Yeah, Reckoning.
Yes.
The demo of that came out. I'm playing it for a very specific reason that we'll go into in the news. Traditional kind of Western RPG.
Yeah.
You start off dead, funnily enough.
You start off dead.
You're sort of a reanimated corpse, and you've lost your memory, and that's kind of how it explains it. There's a whole kind of tutorial section, very much like sort of other RPGs we've seen, like kind of like Dragon Age and all that, and you kind of pick which class you're going through as you play. As you level up, you have like the various skill trees, and so you can go for like a more sort of warrior side, or a wizard, or a rogue.
Yeah.
Sort of like daggers and bows, or magic, or swords and hammers and stuff. Or do a mix and match, so it has that sort of openness to it. It feels and plays very much like a sort of traditional sort of role-playing game.
Yeah.
Western one. Kind of conjures up in mind sort of a little bit of Fable, a little bit of Dragon Age, and the design aesthetic for it looks a lot like World of Warcraft. Don't quote me on that, but I want other people who've played Warcraft to have a go at this and then give me their impressions of whether they think they're trying to not so much copy but emulate and give that sort of feel. But no, I actually enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. I mean, I love all this stuff, but I never have enough time to play it. But I think I might give this one a go. The demo itself is quite long. They open up a huge portion of the world map for you once you've done the tutorial. And once you've done kind of like the main demo bit of the quest where it would normally cut off, they say, right, you now have 45 minutes to do as much as you want. So there are lots of side quests and stuff to do, lots of carrying and fetching and hunting and doing this and doing that and talking to people. And it seems very well put together. The more I played it, the more I got into it. And when the demo actually came to finish, I was like, oh. So
that's when you got to remind yourself that it's just a demo.
It is just a demo, yeah. It's a pretty long demo, but just a demo all the same. But I'm thinking I might have to go without eating for a week or two. Maybe purchase this game. Depends what you say.
It's up to you.
Which means no. I don't like this big lexicon of the female language. Oh, do what you want, which means if you do it, I'll slap you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. But no, I thoroughly recommend it. Another game I recommend is The Darkness 2. If Dan were here, he would be talking at length about it. It's a game that he's
Which
been
I am
looking
kind of
forward to.
surprised about, because obviously you were saying that you weren't a fan of the first one.
It wasn't something I liked the first one, but I never got into it. And I never finished it. It came out 2007. It was a beautiful looking game. You know, I like the idea of it. I'd read a few of the Darkness comics because, you know, obviously I'm a geek. I know who the Darkness is and all this, but no, when we heard that the sequel was coming out, because it'd been so long since the first one, we kind of couldn't believe it. Dan, in particular, was like really, really excited about it. And I've seen bits of it and I think, oh yeah, that looks quite cool, that looks quite cool. And I thought, as Dan wasn't here, this would normally be his thing, so I'll download it and I'll play it. And you know what? Fucking loved it. It really is something quite special.
Quite special.
It's. I'll say this right off the bat. It has a gore factor of 11 out of 10. It is pretty messed up. I mean, the very first sort of image you see is you getting your hand nailed to a cross with an iron railway spike, which is awesome. Which you then later on use to sort of pull out of your hand and stab some guy in the head with it.
Yes, I think I saw that bit too.
But it deals a lot with flashbacks and the characters, and you know, although it's had a kind of like a stylized touch up, I mean, it looks more sort of comic, but has slightly more cell shadedness about it. All the characters have like the black outlines and all that. It doesn't look out of place, and it really suits it. It really makes it feel kind of there, and the controls are good. They're responsive. You can sprint now, which I think is a main gripe a lot of people have with the first game. But it's just awesome. You play this guy. He's kind of like an Italian mob boss who's possessed by Jackie, who's possessed by the darkness, so to speak. It's kind of like this big sort of evil entity, and he's trying to control it. It comes to a point where he's pushed and somebody else wants it. This old scarred guy, I didn't quite get his name, but he had a walking stick and he seemed rather evil. He's
an ugly bugger, isn't he?
He is a little bit, but he wants it, and he can only have it if you give it to him. But you don't want to give it to him.
No.
Although you don't want to use it either. So it's kind of messed up. But, you know, it's cool. All the sort of traditional... I say traditional. All the mechanics from the first one are there. It's like light hurts you and damages your regeneration, so you need to shoot out the lights, and you need to like scare people, and you can pick them up and rip them apart and eat their hearts. And, you know, I'm not doing this game justice, but you need to download it because it is awesome. No matter what anybody says about it, this game is fun. And it controls well. And hell, if I could manage it, I'm sure sort of 99% of the population could pick up this game and play it. But it's really good. I'm now kind of eager to get this as well. And the first one, and play through the first one. So I may be giving Dan a little call and taking a couple of games off his hand. Kind of like, you know.
Hand.
Well, he's got one filled with baby. He only got one free hand. So, yeah, I'll be taking a game off his hands and giving that a go.
Okay.
So.
You still need to take up my challenge, though. Yes.
I'll tell you what. If I play through the first Darkness at some point this year and the second one, I won't use a guide for any of them.
No. That's not what we agreed.
Alright.
It's a game... the game that I've chosen.
Yeah.
Which was yours, which is now mine, because I mainly play it.
What makes me laugh?
And what makes me laugh is when I first played it, I didn't actually have a profile. So you got all the blooming points for it.
Yeah.
So you need to play this game.
Alright.
Okay.
The challenge is still there. It will be taken up when I have the time to play it, but I have more pressing commitments at the moment, and that is the end of part 1. Join us in part 2, where we will talk about this week's news.
Yes.
Ha! Welcome back to part 2 of the Games4all podcast, and this week we will be talking mostly about this week's news. Michelle.
Fucking hell.
Headlines, please.
Okay, first headline. Kingdoms of Amalur and Mass Effect 3 DLC crossover.
Excellent. Now, I picked this story not because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, but because...
Oh, really?
Well, I am a huge Mass Effect fan, but that's not why I picked this story.
Really?
In a world now with pre-order DLC bonuses and buy this game and you get something for another game, I mean, Mass Effect and BioWare in general have been appalling for this. I mean, it's like Dragon Age and Mass Effect 2, you had cross-game armour, which if you bought one, you got armour for the other. They did it with Dragon Age 2 and Dead Space 2, where they had that as well. This time, it's the same thing with Kingdoms of Amalur and... Did I say it right? Amalur? Yeah. And Mass Effect 3. But this time you only need to play the demos.
Yeah.
So it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't need to buy one game.
Which everyone likes.
Yeah. I mean...
It's free.
Yeah, and from EA, it's practically saintly. But, no, it's something I think that they should do more often. I mean, it doesn't tie you into purchase. You don't need to buy both games to get these benefits. It kind of does promote them both, because obviously Mass Effect gamers are going to want to play this Kingdoms of Amalur: The Reckoning just to give it a go, and you might get them into there. And people who are looking forward to this Kingdoms of Amalur, I know there are several people who love that sort of game, will have to try Mass Effect 3, and they don't have to buy the game, they just need to play the demo, and boom, free stuff. And I love free stuff.
I love the free stuff. But basically, you play demo for one, it unlocks a set of armour and a weapon for the other. Yeah. So the Kingdoms of Amalur demo is out now. The Mass Effect demo is coming out on February 14th for Valentine's Day. Yeah.
So I know what I'll be doing. Looking after you and cooking you dinner. Because I know which side of the bread my bread is buttered on. I think I did that last week, didn't I? I will get that saying right at some point, but there you go. Next story.
Okay. Okay. You put me right off now.
I'm sorry, I have that effect on women.
Okay. Next story. XCOM delayed until 2013.
This is bullshit.
Straight into it. Absolute bullshit.
When we first started this podcast, first started properly doing it, we did an E3 show where we did our favourite trailers, and the XCOM trailer was in there. It was a really cool sort of 60s pulp sci-fi, almost Lovecraftian game. It's a first-person shooter, kind of stylised FBI agents going into this 60s sort of suburban town, being haunted by this weird sort of gooey blackness that was possessing the citizens. Looked awesome. Had absolutely nothing to do with the original XCOM games, which a lot of people were complaining about, which were sort of RTS strategy games. So yeah, this one, it was announced way back in 2010, so it's been a long time coming. It was supposed to come out this year, because there was nothing about it for ages and ages, and we wondered whether it was going to happen, and then it resurfaced again, looking pretty good. So, yeah, it's not going to happen. A bit disappointing. I think both me and Dan were looking forward to this game, and seeing what it's about, but what we are getting is we're getting XCOM Enemy Unknown, being developed by Firaxis, who are famous for doing the Sid Meier Civilizations games, sort of RTS type games, and, it's... Enemy Unknown is supposed to be more like the original series, where sort of the gameplay and the controls are more like that. It's an RTS strategy game, but kind of tying in with this sort of how the new game's going to be. So they've decided that is going to be the launching point of the new franchise. That's where it's going to start, kind of to bring in the old players and lead them off into the new, which, is fairly smart. It sucks that we're going to have to wait another year to play the first-person game, but, as long as it's good, that's pretty cool. That's pretty much all the good news. So
it all goes downhill from here.
All goes downhill from here. It's been a very slow news week, so come on.
And I think you might see there's a little theme with this week's news, seeing as you've picked all of them.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so next story. Origin needed for Mass Effect 3 on PC.
Yeah.
See where I'm going here?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, this is actually bashing Mass Effect 3. This hurt me to put this story.
Question. It's to do with Mass Effect 3, isn't it?
Yeah, but for PC, and they're elitist snobs. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Oh,
there's going to be some angry emails.
Not at all. You see, there are lots of people who think that, and I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon. I don't think PC gamers are that bad. I used to be one. It's just the fact that I'm bitter because I can't afford it anymore. To be honest, if I had a really good PC rig, I would have all the Mass Effect games on PC.
We need a Mac.
Yeah. Well, we got your MacBook.
No.
Okay. But yeah, there was this big story last year about Crysis 2 being pulled off Steam and EA now kind of completely abandoning Steam altogether. Steam being the premier posthumous periodontal something, the main kind of digital game provider for PC. EA said, you know what, we don't want to give 10% of our profits to you, we're going to do our own thing. So they launched Origin, to a whole heap of trouble. There's all this accusations that it's spyware, that it's kind of spying on your computers and gathering data and selling it off, and you know, there is a point, there is an element of that, but they've always said you can always turn that off. You don't need to have it. But still, a lot of people are very bitter, and a lot of people have now stopped buying EA games simply because they don't like being forced to opt into this Origin. But bad news, people, if you want to play Mass Effect 3 on PC, even if you just want to play the single player, you're going to need to be on Origin, because it comes with like the EA Pass, which is like a single one-time authorization thing. You need to be connected to Origin to use that. And if you're playing multiplayer, you're going to need to be connected to it all the time. So, you know, that's pretty bad. But in the end, for all you people who hate Origin, are you really going to pass up playing Mass Effect 3, probably one of the most anticipated games of 2012, just because you don't like EA's business practices? And I say, no, you're probably going to play the game. I know I would. So it kind of sucks, but this is chalking one up to the bad guys, you EA-able bastards.
EA-able bastards.
Now, come on, next story, before I go on a tirade about why EA should suck my rectum.
Oh, shut up. Okay, the next story. Game denies website hacked.
Yes, this is the retailer and the online site for the retailer Game. If you're in the US, you're obviously aware of GameStop. Game is kind of like the UK version, UK and Europe and Australia. Pretty big. They bought out their rivals recently, so most people go there. They get all the exclusive pre-order DLCs and stuff, all the big ones. There's this whole big problem with it because a report went up that 200 of their customer emails and passwords have gone up online. So there was a whole kind of hoo-ha. With all the hacking that happened last year, everybody's scared, like, oh, are my card details safe? Are, like, what I'm doing safe? Are people spying on me? Can people access my account and all this? And Game sort of came and said, whoa, 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 whoa.
Stop. Whoa.
This is not my Batman mug. No. They said, don't need to worry. We've looked at all these email addresses. None of them are yours. None of these addresses are our customers. You're safe. But it's kind of like
Botch job, yeah.
But this whole hacking thing has bred so much kind of fear. Yeah.
It's spread.
It's spread. It's kind of... It's terrorism, basically, and it's got everybody who purchases anything online, especially in the games world. I mean, what with Sony hacking and Microsoft that had reported kind of loopholes in their security last week, a lot of people are scared about getting their identities and passwords and accounts hacked. So, you know, whether they were hacked or not, it's still a fact that somebody put this story out and scared a lot of people. And I thoroughly disagree. Bad show, sir. Bad show. Get in your bed.
Now.
But, no, so if you shop with Game and you have anything on pre-order and you're worried, you don't need to worry. You're perfectly safe.
Okay.
Stop worrying. Stop it. It's all good. Last story.
THQ 2014 lineup confusion.
Yes, it was tweeted quite a lot that THQ had pulled their entire 2014 game lineup. So there are going to be no games coming out in 2014.
Which can't be true.
It can't be true. No, and THQ have said it's not true.
Good.
Obviously, they had this whole strategic reorganisation because they're famous for doing like tie-ins and licenses and kiddie games and wrestling and stuff like that all like the wrestling games, WWE and all that, they all come from THQ.
Can I just say, woo, I'm not really a big fan of some of...
No, a lot of people aren't, but they're trying to steer away from that. They're trying to bring out more kind of like hardcore, sort of really good games. And, you know, last year they did do some good games. There was the Space Marine, which, although it did fairly well, they're not going to do any more, but, you know, it was a good game. It wasn't a bad game at all. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was kind of short, but still good.
As short as Mirror's Edge?
Shorter.
Okay.
You could complete it twice in the time it takes for you to play Mirror's Edge. But, yeah, and they've got like Darksiders coming out, Darksiders 2 coming out this year, and Darksiders did very well. So the fact that you hear like this big sort of publishing thing might have pulled all their games for 2014, you're kind of thinking, uh-oh, is this a sign of things to come? Are they in trouble? Doesn't necessarily mean they are. I mean, we're in a climate now where the economy isn't great. A lot of games developers are going under, a lot of studios are being closed, but, you know, people still make games.
Yeah.
There are still plenty of big games there, and I don't see THQ going under or stopping it.
I mean, at the same time, you know, I'm not exactly... If it were to happen, I don't think it would be such a big deal.
No.
To be honest.
Though this whole story has...
Not to be, you know, horrible, but there are better quality games out there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll be such a big loss.
No. But THQ, they're trying to push them out. I mean, they've got, like, I think there's the Warhammer 40,000 MMO coming out.
Well, let's just say they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, they do have a lot of work to do. They do have a reputation, but you know what? BioWare had a reputation as doing like epic, hardcore RPGs, and they're now kind of owned by EA and being turned into a brand. And I'm getting bitter again, so I'm going to stop there. We're going to come back in part 3 with the UK sales chart.
Yes, sadly. And you'll know why.
Yeah, so listen in for depressing news. Welcome back to part 3 of the Games4all podcast. Michelle, chart me.
Do I have to?
Yes.
I mean,
and you have to say it. Just say it. Just pull it off like a band-aid. I know it's not good.
I'll try.
Do it.
Okay. Alright then. At number 10, Need for Speed The Run. At number 9, Assassin's Creed Revelations. At number 8, it's Rage. At number 7, it's Zumba Fitness 2. At number 6, it's Zumba Fitness. At number 5, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. At number 4, it's Battlefield 3. At number 3, it's The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. At number 2, it's Just Dance 3. And at number 1, it's FIFA 12.
Okay. UK buying public. What the fuck are you doing? Zumba Fitness. Really? As if you haven't bought enough of that shit.
You know what it is?
And you're now buying the sequel?
You know what it is? It's the fact that over Christmas they've eaten way too much and they thought, what shall I get to help me get back in shape?
This is kind of... This is.
I won't go to the gym. I know, let's get Zumba Fitness.
Well, we're now more than halfway through January. This is the second wave. This is... Okay.
This is the people who have gone to the gym, then got home and then thought, fuck it, I can't be asked to go to the gym, I'm just going to buy Zumba.
Yeah. And it's the people who have tried to diet and not lost any weight and thinking, right, need to do a little bit more now. They've gone out and bought
Let's
this.
dance.
And,
Why? Why, people?
Joe is going to have an absolute field day.
He's dancing to it right now.
I can guarantee, listeners, if you check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Games4all podcast, Joe Byrne, our resident artist...
Yes.
And kind of silent member of the Games4all podcast team, he will be gloating like a little bitch.
And trying to promote the game.
We love you, Joe, but don't make our life hard.
Please don't.
We will get you. I know where you live. Love you really, mate.
Bromance. Anyway... Going on to this week's release.
Okay, I will say, on the count of 3, I will give out this week's release. This week's release is 1, 2, 3. Fuck all. Nothing coming out this week. Again, nothing coming out until the 27th. It was Resident Evil Revelations. You know what? I'm hating this month. January is the most awful month for talking about new releases. When it comes to next month, there's some really good games coming out. We've got Darkness 2, we've got Kingdoms of Amalur, we got Final Fantasy, we got all sorts. Catherine, we got all sorts.
I like that. We've just got all sorts.
All sorts. Bassets, all sorts. It's a game about licorice. It's good.
Sweet, all sorts.
Yeah, but nothing coming out this month at all. Well, apart from Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS.
Yes.
But I don't have a 3DS, so that doesn't
Neither
bother me.
do I.
So that is pretty much it. It's now time to do the blurb.
The blurb.
The blurb. Check us out on www.games4allpodcast.com. Everything is up there. This show will be going up there. If you're listening to this show on there, then check out the rest of the site. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's good. Yes. You can also like us on facebook.com/Games4all podcast. We post up various bits of news or trailers and stuff that we've seen there. There are also links there to our good friends over at the Underground Geek Network. Mm-hmm. They're an epic podcast that deals with all things geeky, from comic books, films, TV shows, anime, manga, you name it, they love it, including Ernie Hudson. So check them out at undergroundgeeknetwork.com or follow them on twitter.com/ugeeknetwork. The U is a letter.
Yes, and you can also check us out on Twitter at Games4all.
Yes. And the 4 is a number.
Yes.
And they still haven't done us a jingle for that. We're near the end of January now. We need our jingle, guys. You can also follow us on iTunes. Mm-hmm. And,
which also has a link to the Underground Geek Network.
Yep,
you can check them out too.
Yep. We have audio and video episodes up on iTunes.
Games4all Extra.
And they're also all on the website as well. So, pretty much head to the website. It's all there. It's all laid out in the front.
Yes. Feel free, if you want to, check out the whole Tabasco episode.
Yep, that is gone up on YouTube.
Yes.
Which I'm sure there are links to on our Facebook thing.
Go on, it is hilarious.
Yeah.
If you want to make someone laugh, just check it out.
Looking back on it, it was kind of funny. I wouldn't do it again, though.
No, that was you digging yourself in a hole.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, so that's it for this week.
That is it for this week. Yes. Oh, you can also email us at podcast@games4allpodcast.com.
Yes, if you want to send anything.
Criticisms, telling me to stop presenting the show, because, we might listen. If enough of you complain, Dan might actually stop me from recording these shows.
You'll just go, fuck it. Carry on.
Carry on, yeah. More punishment for me. He says, that's the sure way to get people to do what you want, is just say, if you do this, James suffers. Boom.
We need some sort of task. If we get enough emails of people.
No, I'm not going down that road again.
Okay.
This time of year, I do stuff like that.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it for the show. Join us next week, where it will hopefully be better.
For you?
Yeah, for all of you.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll say bye now then.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com.